You know, Ambassador, I find it so fascinating, at least the reports, and these are very early reports, but that the father of this man apparently called the U.S. Embassy and said there's something, something's not quite right. I don't know what he said or what the reporters will learn more, but what would you have expected the embassy to do?
Well, one would think that when you have somebody as prominent as this fellow's father, the chairman of the largest bank in Nigeria, report this, that it ought to get some attention. And so I think we need to find out why this didn't get brought to law enforcement more generally. This is a very unusual circumstance when you get that kind of tip. And I think it's indicative that we've begun to let our guard down. I think you can see it through the whole incident. Our whole post-9/11 protection system broke down, and this plane may well have been saved by one brave passenger and the flight attendants, not by anything that we've done since 9/11. And
not only our guard, because of course we're the front line on our own aircraft, and that was an American aircraft leaving a foreign country, but even Amsterdam, and when you fly, even if a plane is just flying through and stops to refuel in a country, my experience has been is that they make you get off and you just refuel and go through security and get back on, because the originating country at that point would be Amsterdam, is they want to make sure aircraft leaving their airspace is safe. This guy got checked in Amsterdam, presumably.
Right. Well, this shows a breakdown of checks for any flights coming internationally into the United States, because the protocols would be essentially the same. These explosives were missed. This individual, this is just incredible that he bought a ticket with cash and that somehow that didn't get more attention than it did. So I think this is more of a problem just in Amsterdam. This is now a worldwide problem, and it goes to the question as well why the president wasn't notified. You'll remember on 9/11, we basically stopped all incoming international flights. Many people ended up in Canada or were diverted elsewhere precisely because of the fear that one incident could simply be part of a larger pattern.
I know, and I'm actually sympathetic to the president. First, he has the party crashers, because nobody's protecting who comes into the home where the president and his family are, and now we have a situation where we have a potential act of terrorism, and nobody bothers to tell him for 3 hours when maybe there are some important steps that should have been taken or could have. I mean, obviously not now, but I mean, you would think that he'd want to be one of the first to know.
Well, certainly it's worth knowing who inside the White House was informed of this and how far up the chain it went. I mean, this is the kind of thing that when you see an incident that comes this close to succeeding, you have to worry that others are in train. Remember, a few years ago, the British authorities detected a multiple airplane plot as well.
And Ambassador, thank you very much.